In this video, you will see the process for flying a dog into French Polynesia. Me and my dog Daily joined the boat after leaving it for 5 months, but are delayed by an airline strike. Daily and I are all packed and ready to go. We're about ready to call the Uber to go to the Lafayette airport so we can start our 4-day trip back to the boat. It's going to be a long one because Daly has to visit vets in LAX and Tahiti, and that's going to add 2 extra days to our journey. We needed to get same-day vet signatures and APHIS forms filled out for Daly on the international flight. And all international flights from mainland US go through Los Angeles International Airport. So that meant we needed to fly into LA the day before our Tahiti flight to get all the signatures necessary. Before leaving Lafayette, we got a preliminary permit after 9 months of vet visits to enter Tahiti. Driving in LA right now to get to the USDA APHIS office near LAX airport.
Use the right lane to turn slightly right to stay on West Century Boulevard. In 600 feet, keep right to continue toward South Sepulveda Boulevard. Keep right, then use any lane to turn right onto South Sepulveda Boulevard.
The USDA APHIS office will not inspect the dogs, and they do not let dogs in the waiting room, so you should keep your dog back at the hotel. They will only endorse forms by a USDA certified veterinarian, and the wait can be kind of long, so get there early and have a lot of extra time before your flight. When I got to the airport late at night, they did not know exactly where to put Daly, but they had me put him in a room that was near where the agriculture vet works during the day. So I left Daly at the airport, and I went to the airport motel to meet him and the vet in the morning. So I think there was a miscommunication between me and the agriculture vet. I think he thought that I was going to send Daily cargo, and I had never had that intention. I never saw that in the regulations, and I would have never started the process had I known that was the case. So even though he let Daly in, because Daly was obviously healthy, he had a ton of vet visits, a ton of documentation, he was upset and said, "Don't come back. You Americans never follow the rules." Well, I was following a lot of rules, I thought, because I was trying to follow every rule there was. But, hey, it was a long process. Had I known how long it would have been to begin with, I probably wouldn't have started it. But I'm glad to have Daly on the boat. He's going to be a great partner on this season's cruise, even if he can't come to next season's cruise if we're still in French Polynesia, which seems likely. After Daly was released by agriculture, I got some bad news that our flight was canceled to Hiva Oa, where the boat was. I'm here in front of the Air Tahiti office in the Papeete airport in Tahiti, and unfortunately I just learned after flying in that there is a fireman strike which is preventing all flights going in and out of Hiva Oa. So Hiva Oa is about a 1,000 to 2,000 people population island, and you know, if we're talking about a fireman strike, it's probably definitely less than 10, probably less than 5 people obviously a major disruption for me. I had emailed or used their web form to try to change my flight on Air Tahiti. They never contacted me about my flight being canceled today, and I only found out about it as I was coming to the airport to change it because they did not respond to my change request. Totally support working men's ability, men and women who are putting their life on the line, their ability to support themselves. At the same time, I am pretty negative on the public sector strikes that I've encountered here in Tahiti and the Marquesas, and also when I was backpacking in France. You know, I don't think in the U.S. they would allow safety workers to strike, but there is a tolerance for that in France, and I think that's very disruptive for the economy, because, you know, it's one thing to pay people more, it's another to change the plans of thousands or millions of people and disrupt commerce just so somebody can get a little bit more. To give you an idea, because of this strike, it makes me very firm in my decision not to keep the boat in Hiva Oa anymore. I do not want to be, I could potentially be out thousands of dollars in hotel bills waiting for a flight to Hiva Oa, and right now I'm going to have to scramble to either find accommodation here in Tahiti, think about going back to the United States, which would be an awful option since it cost me about $2,000 to get here, or find some type of boat that will take me at least from Nuka Hiva, which flights are going to, as far as I know, and to Hiva Oa. So this is really just, this is the definition of what we would call a deadweight loss in economics lectures, which I have given a few, that, you know, my losses are not going to the firefighters. They're just being wasted, really ruining my trip and really making me think, do I want to spend my time and money in French Polynesia? I had to move hotels because of daily. I found a hotel that allowed dogs in Punana called the Pension de Plage, the hotel of the beach. The Pension de la Plage, there's a gas station right next to it and a bus stop right there. It's about 15 minutes walk to the grocery store and right across the street from the beach. Because of the firefighter strike, we're trying to get a berth on the Aranui 5 that departs tomorrow, and in 6 days we'll get to Hiva Oa in the Marquesas. The boat dock was several miles away near downtown Papeete. We hitched a ride and also took a cab to get there. Today's the day to get on the Aranui. It departs tomorrow at 7 a.m. If we're going to go, we got to get on it. So with the strike going, we tried to get on the Aranui 5, but we did not. We're not allowed because Daly was a dog. They don't allow dogs or any other pets. Daly was not allowed to go on. He was not allowed to go on the ship yesterday because there were no dogs or live animals. So he has limited our accommodation and our travel options. But he's worth it, right? He's worth it. You're still worth it. Daly and I are here at Big Beach, Toarato, which is, I'm killing the pronunciation of. We've been here 2 or 3 days. This is the first hotel we had since I vacated the airport hotel. Daly spent the first night at the airport, and his accommodation was charged at a rate of $80, and my accommodation was charged at a rate of about $100. So our first night was our most expensive, and then the next night we got a $90 room at the Pension de Plage, the pension by the beach. Then we were moved into their less deluxe accommodation for $40 a night because they had no other rooms. And I guess that's fine by me. They're about the same. The Pension de la Plage it's a nice enough place, and it does accept dogs, and they have 2 dogs on the premises, so that is a bonus. But the dogs are kind of rowdy, and I think I'm not sure what to make of Daly, whether or not he's a chew toy or a dog. He's trying to convince him that he's a dog. And so I've been trying to keep him safe from the other dogs. I think the other major issue is that at the Pension de la Plage, they have no screens and no air conditioning, at least in the rooms that I've been in. And that's a little hot. So I'm looking forward to boat life, where we will be on the water, where it'll be a bit cooler. So one of the things that make this place kind of hot is that we're on the leeward side of the island. So we're on the west side of the island, and the trade winds blow onto the east side of the island. So we have the calm waters on this side. This is where you want to anchor your boat, probably. But it also means there's less wind blowing onto the coast.
With the extra time, I spent some time at the beach, did some paddling, did some shopping, edited a podcast, and I learned about how to get news on the strike from a potential crew member, and started listening to Tahiti infos for the latest news on the firefighter strike. The problem with French Polynesia is it's a rabies-free country, and that means most dogs are not vaccinated for rabies, and so they're very strict about the dogs that they'll allow into the country because they're worried about a rabies outbreak of their unvaccinated dogs.
I got a drink at the Meridien a few days back, and it was a margarita for $15 to $20, kind of pricey, but it was a good view and a good change of pace, and it was certainly cheaper than a room at the Meridien. Me and Daly couldn't go there because of Daly.
I read about a pause in the strike in Tahiti infos, and I booked a ticket right away over the phone, and then we left Pension de la Plage for the airport. Your key to French Polynesian paradise is easy as hitting the subscribe button and the bell notification icon so you can see all our around the world vlogs as soon as they're released. This episode was brought to you by viewers like you on patreon.com/slowboatsailing. Make a pledge so you can get free bonus episodes of the podcast and my awesome audiobooks of How to Sail Around the World Part-Time and Slow Boat to Cuba.